Hello, welcome back to Survival Saturday with Johnny Tiger on Saturday, June 12th, 2021. Today, I'm going to show you guys something to do on the ground when you get knocked down, thrown down, tripped over, swept down, whatever. Something that you can do in case of you ending up in one of the worst, actually the worst situation on the ground, which is face down on the ground, belly down. I'm going to show you guys what to do when you're belly down, flat, or if you happen to be able to get up to your knees and hand and work from there. Now, some people are saying, oh, yeah, I thought you mentioned a few episodes ago that we don't want to go into that position. If you are saying that or thinking that, congratulations. That means you were paying attention to what I was saying. And you're right, I did say, do not get into that position. But you see, in the case of self-defense, it's one thing for me to say do not get into that position. And it's one thing for you to say you don't want to be in that position. But there's a big element of what the people attacking you want to put you in that position. So it's not always up to me, it's not always up to you. As many years as I have trained, practiced, taught martial art, self-defense, I end up in that position sometime, sparring, fighting, in self-defense scenario. So it's not always up to you. You can't dictate. Just like you can't dictate, we do not want to go to the ground, like a lot of people say in Krav Maga. It's a good idea not to go to the ground, but quite often it's not up to you. So it would be irresponsible of me to leave you with that, to just tell you, just don't get into that position, period, without teaching you, well, what happened if you do end up in that position. And that is why we're doing what we're doing today. Belly down on the floor, the worst position that you can get in a self-defense situation. Why is it the worst self-defense scenario? Why is the worst pose? Because while you're down on the ground, you have to use your hand and your leg for a lot of the movement you need to do. Right? It's not like if I'm on my side, if I'm laying on my side like this, I only need my one hand, my one arm, my one elbow actually, and my bottom leg to maneuver. I have one leg, one knee, one elbow, one fist, free for defense, attack, whatever. Eh? If I'm on my back, then all I really need is one foot to move me around. I have one foot, one knee, two elbows, two hands to defend and attack, right? If I'm down here, let's say I'm down on my belly, if I want to move around, well, this is going to be a little bit awkward, right? You pretty much need your legs and your arm to do any effective moving or defending. Let's say the person, while I'm down here, trying to stomp on the back of my neck or try to land on my back. Okay? My ability to block that is very limited from when I'm laying on my belly. Okay? And I definitely wouldn't be able to move very fast. Some people can. Some people, don't get me wrong. I have seen some people that can move like snakes on their belly. Those are people who actually spend a lot of time training for that. That's cool. But most people don't move that good when they're flat on the belly. Now, if you're on your hands and knees, then you're a lot better off. Okay, from here, you can move a lot faster. Side step, forward, back. Okay, you can move really fast. However, for any kind of attack, huh, I can take one hand off the ground, but already this is seriously affecting my ability to move very fast because now I'm moving with my knees and one hand on the ground. So if I have to kick, now if I have to kick with one leg, so I have to take one leg off the ground. I'm on my hands and one knee. This is already really difficult to move. I have to hop, which takes a lot of energy. Okay, so it's easy for the person who is standing, who can do all kind of moving, kicking, whatever, to outmaneuver me when I'm in those positions. Not to mention it's really, really tiring. Like, I'm already feeling myself warming up like crazy just from that little bit of scrambling around on my belly. So movement is a big reason why we don't want to end up down here. Also, extremely hard for you to get any meaningful kind of leverage to do anything meaningful. It's hard to get in a good hit while you're flat on your belly. So from an attacking standpoint, this is problematic. Also look at the amount of your body that is exposed. Okay? The back of your leg, the back of your knee, kidney, spine, back of your head, back of your neck. I might be able to defend the back of my head, back of my neck with my hand, like this, reaching back and protect myself like this. But how am I going to defend my leg? Well, maybe I can curl my legs in like this so that they can't stomp on my knee or my calf. How am I going to defend my spine and kidney? Well, the only way is for me to try to get a hand back there. But okay, so now look at me. I got to defend my knee, I got to defend my shin and ankle, so I curl my legs in. I'm putting my one hand behind my back to shield my kidney, my spine, and my other hand is behind my neck, protecting my neck. What can I do from here? Nothing. I can't go anywhere. I'm tied. I'm tied up there. Okay. So it's very difficult to mount a good defense while you're in that position. So those are the three reasons. Okay. Quick recap. Three reasons why you do not want to end belly down, and that include on your hands and knees or flat on your belly. Three reasons. Because it's hard to move, hard to defend, hard to attack. Now, when this is something very hopeless, let me show you guys a few things. It's still not going to be easy. If it's going to be easy, I would say, yeah, you can go into that position sometime, but it just don't. Yeah, don't get into that position if you can at all help it. But there are things you can do. Okay? Now, if by some weird chances I end facing down on the ground, of course my biggest immediate concern is I don't want the guy to be behind me. Okay, I'd rather have the guy toward my head like this in front of me. Why? Because I can restrict his mobility if I'm facing his feet. Even when I'm down on the floor like this, I can grab his ankle and his hug onto his leg. And from here, I can roll onto my side and bring my knee into the side of his leg, breaking his leg like that. Okay? Or I want the person to be beside me. You know? Beside me is still bad. Watch out for that knee across the back of your neck. Okay? This is where what they're going to try to do. But at least if they're beside me, I can shuffle in, hook my arm around their ankles, and I can still employ my knee from this position. Even when I'm flat down on the ground, I can still turn a little bit to the side to bring my knee, to bring my elbow into play. Right? But if they're behind me, problem. Right? I might be able to kick at them, but it's so easy for them to just jump onto my back when they're behind me like that. So first thing you want to do is trying to reorient yourself. You want to ideally have your opponent in front of your head, or beside you, but not behind toward your feet. Second, obviously we want to try to start working our way up from the ground. Okay, so if I land belly down, I already want to start scooting myself back away from them and using my hand. Now, quick tip here. When I'm moving on the ground, I never put my hand flat on the ground. Why? Because if you put your hand flat on the ground, all they have to do is step on your finger, breaking your finger. You can't fight anymore. Right? So when I'm on the ground, if I have to move, I will walk on the heel of my hand, keeping my fingers up and curled. So this way, if they try to step on my finger, all I have to do is shake my wrist, twist my wrist a little bit, they'll miss my finger. Right? They won't be able to stomp down on my finger effectively when my fingers are curled in and off the ground. Or I will move on my fist. I'll just make fist and move on my fist. Right? On hard ground, it's going to mess up your knuckles, I know, but it's better than having broken fingers. So, scoot back and starting to go from your belly to your fist and knee, and then push yourself up. Okay, get ready to run or fight. That is the ideal. Okay, first, make sure they're not behind you, they are not on your feet end, and then start scooting away and get up on your hand or fist and get up. Now, you want to always make sure you're ready to block. Luckily, once you get on your knees and your hand, blocking is actually really easy. Okay? If they try to kick at me from this angle while I'm down on my hand and feet, all I really have to do is drop to one elbow. Drop to one elbow. You're going to miss. I can duck to the side, duck to the side. I can duck back. I can duck back. I can even sweep it away with my hand. No problem. I can defend really good from that. Okay, so just pay attention. Don't forget to block or duck. Most of the time, what we are worried about is when a person tries to get on top of us when we are down on the ground, or try to stomp us when we're down on the ground. So, in the eventuality, let me turn myself around so you can actually, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. While I'm down here, Let's say I just got uh, tripped and land face down, and the person already land on my back, so I can't get to my feet. I can't scoot away. I'm pinned. I do not want my arm to be down here by my side. Okay? I want my arm to be down by my chest or by my face, like in a plank position. Why? This is where all those hours of push-ups we do really help you. Okay? Some of you say, why do we need to do all these push-ups? Because if you ever get pinned down on your belly, those push-ups, those kicking across with your leg, twisting your lower body, high knees, mountain climber, those stuff is going to help you know how to move effectively and strongly when you're down here. Let me put it this way. I've demonstrated this before. I can have 3 people piled on my back, over 400 pounds of weight piled on my back, while I'm down here on my belly. As long as I have my arms underneath me in a plank or push-up position, I can easily get them off of me by doing just a single push-up and offsetting their center of balance. That may sound really crazy. Some people say, "What? So you're saying you can push up with 400 pounds on top of you?" That's not quite so. What I'm doing is because these are living human beings on my back. What living human beings do when they feel unstable is they'll shift around, they'll fidget. Okay? So the moment I push up, as the moment I start to shift my body, that caused the people on top of me to shift their balance, and they'll overcompensate and fall to the side themselves. So it's not that I really am pushing and holding up for over 400 pounds. All I need to do is push up hard enough to upset their balance, and they'll fall over, right? So you want to land, if you have to be face down, try to have your arms underneath you, on your elbow, on your hand. Also from here, you can reach back and defend the back of your head, right? You don't want your arm to be beside you, trapped beside you. Right? But again, like we have already established, sometimes it's not up to you. Sometimes you will end up trapped with your arm beside you. Okay? So what happened? If I'm down here and my arms are down to the side for some reason, and the person is sitting on my back and pinning my arm beside me, well, this is where another reason why I promote carrying a force equalizer, knife, tactical pen, whatever. Why I promote this? Because what happened if you pin my arm down beside me? My hand is right by my pocket, which means if they're pinning my arm to your side, most likely they wouldn't even notice this. My knife coming out, and from here, all I have to do is step back and up multiple times. They are going to jump away. They're going to start to struggle. Okay, and I'm going to turn with them. Okay, so let's say Bruce, my training dummy Bruce. Let's say he was on my back, and I start stabbing. I got the pen or knife out of my pocket and I start whipping it back. And they're going to start moving away from the knife. They're not going to move to my left because my knife is in my left hand. They're going to move to my right, and I'm going to follow them as I feel the weight come off of me. I'm going to start following. I'm going to just turn into them and keep going at it until they start to back away. Now, the moment I feel that they start to build distance, and they are going to want to build distance, no one's going to jump into a stabbing knife. They are going to try to pull away. Okay? The moment I feel that they start to pull away, I'm going to reverse distance, turn, and get up. All the while maintaining my knife. When I'm up, I'm already facing them. Some of you are thinking, wait, why did you just draw that knife left-handed? Why did you wear your knife on the left? Aren't you right-handed? Yes. Most of you see me draw before. I draw mostly right-handed. But I always say that you need to practice both left and right. What if my right arm is broken on the way down? Okay, so I always say, if you can, always carry two self-defense tools. One accessible on the right, one accessible on the left. Or if you only carry one, make sure it's in the location where you can get at it, both left hand and right hand. And you need to be almost equally good, pulling it out left hand, right hand. And the way you get to be like that is occasionally practice like I do now with my left hand. Okay? So that is mostly how you deal with situation like that. If you are down on your belly and your arms pinned to your side. Let me do this while I'm standing with my back to the camera so you can see my body motion. Right? Just pretend that it's a bird's eye view from above. Okay? Just pretend I'm laying down and you're looking at me from the top. Because I want you guys to be able to see the arm movement. So let's say I'm now facing down on the ground, my arm pinned to my side. Obviously, I won't be able to wiggle very effectively here. Most likely, the person's going to have their leg around my arm, and while they're sitting on me. Now, this is a bad situation because here my head will be exposed. If my arm is pinned like this, my head is exposed. I can't protect my head. So, one more time. If my arm's pinned like this, it's right by my pocket. So, the moment they put their weight on me, I'm going to extract the knife, commando grip it, because I want the knife to face backward. I don't want the knife to face toward me. The knife face backward, strike back, strike back, strike back into their back, buttocks, leg, whatever I can reach by this little motion. And again, like I mentioned, if I'm striking back, the person is not going to move towards the knife. They're going to move away from it. So as soon as I feel their weight shift, I'm going to move with them, keep striking until they start to jump away. When they start to jump away, I reverse direction and get up, and I will be facing them with my knife ready. Let me quickly address this because some people say, well, okay, aren't you going to go to jail if you do this? Look, if I get attacked in a dark alley, someone get me down on my face like this, and they're pinning me down like this. Okay, that's enough for me to feel that my life is being threatened. Okay, that's enough ground for me to go to extreme measures. No problem. Now, however, sometimes, sometimes the people that get you into that position might not be that bully from the alleyway. Okay, maybe you got a little bit rowdy at the bar. Maybe you got a little bit rowdy at the party. And the police officer or security guard trip you and slam you face down into the ground like this. Of course, you don't want to pull out your knife and start stabbing in this case, right? So in this case, if the person gets you down on the ground, but it's a law enforcement officer, someone you don't want to escalate this into a life and death situation, then You want to work your arm, work your hand under your groin. Okay, so put a bit of pressure on your knees or your butt, lift up, work your arm under your groin. Why? Because if your arm is on the side, all the pressure is directly on your chest. If someone puts pressure on your back, you're going to suffocate. You're not going to be able to breathe really good. But by moving your arm underneath your groin, you're cushioning yourself with your arm. So when the person presses down, you can flex your arm muscle a little bit to resist that. Now, from here, it's important to notice. Put the side of your face to the ground. Put your chin into the ground. Put your forehead, the side of your forehead, into the ground. Keep your arm underneath you. Okay. Bring your heel back like this towards your bottom, like your hamstring curl. And relax. Breathe through your nose, out through your mouth. Nice and slow. Don't fight. Don't struggle. It's a security officer. It's a law enforcement officer. The more you fight, the more trouble you are in. Okay? Focus on relaxing, breathing, and have the right position. Get your arm underneath you so you can cushion your chest, okay, your shoulder, your bicep. All this will cushion your chest and rib cage so it's not squished against the ground. Turn your head, lay your head down, nice and easy, and relax and breathe. Okay? On Tactical Tuesday, we're going to come back. I'm going to show you guys some more attacks you can actually do once you make your way onto your hands and knees. But for now, I think we got more than enough information for one episode. If you enjoy these tactical Tuesday Survival Saturday self-defense martial art tips, then please check out the Johnny Tiger Experience podcast, where we actually have Blades 101, Fitness 101, and Night Strike 101, where we go into even more details than these daily videos. You can find it on any podcast platform by searching for Johnny Tiger Experience. For now, stay safe out there. Have a good night.